Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Ready to win.
Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Politics Unfiltered. Happy Saturday. What a beautiful day it was today. And it's going to get even better. I have with me Westchester County legislative candidate for District 17, Jose Diaz. Folks, help me welcome Jose Diaz to the show. Come on, I want to hear the claps. Help me welcome him to the show. Jose Diaz, Republican candidate for District 17. I was going to say 17, and I made that mistake once. He's challenging Jose Alvarado. You know, I don't want to get into anything crazy, Jose, but I just want to say this. I put a post up. I call it the fun fact. And there was a man by the name of Jose Alvarado that was burglarizing homes with the people in it in the early 80s. And Jose Alvarado came to Yonkers in 82 from what I'm hearing. But I'm not saying it was him. I'm just saying, fun fact. I thought that was interesting. I was like, geez, you know. Anyway, Jose Diaz, how you doing? Oh. There you go.
I'm doing well, Freddie. Thank you for inviting me to Baseball Politics.
Let me give you another round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me, Freddie. I watch your show every day. I mean, every time you come to the show, I'll follow you.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that you are a voice, for the people that live in Yonkers. Actually, Westchester County,
And that's what I'm trying to do, right? And so, and I said this to somebody, I may not always get it right. I have a learning curve, right? And so, but my intentions, like your intentions, are genuine. And I'm very passionate about creating change, as you are. And that's why you and I, when we first spoke, we kind of hit it off because we have this passion to make things better, right? Things that we see are wrong to make them right. So, right? And so that's what I love about you. And I know you're a Republican and I'm a Democrat, but this is the year that we forget about this. This is the year that we focus on the person. And you're a good person. You're a passionate person. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Jose.
Well, I work for the Yonkers Public Schools.
Shout out to them.
Yes, thank you. And that I'm a person that is I'm a passionate person like you. I want changes, Freddie. I follow the politics of Yonkers. I've been following the politics for a long time, and I like national politics at the same time too, but I see some things that I don't like, and I want to change those things. That was one of the reasons why I started running for office. I want changes, and we have multiple things that we can work on that the people of the city of Yonkers and actually the county might need. And that's why I'm here. And I'm passionate. I'm a fighter like you. I want to fight for the people. And that's some of the basic things that I want to really do for the people.
William says, yes, like we need leaders who will speak up for the residents. We need new leaders that will speak up for the residents. Absolutely. Jose, really quick, for the people who may not know, District 17 encompasses what areas?
But different areas from... let's say I can give you Northern Hill. It covers probably the parts of the 2nd district and parts of the 5th district. It's different than the city council, areas.
Right.
South Broadway, parts of Riverdale Avenue. You got to see the map exactly.
Right. It extends into different districts of council districts, right?
Exactly.
And so is it all of Yonkers District 17, or do you have like Mount Vernon or Bronxville?
It's located in Yonkers only.
So, okay, so you're like Christopher Johnson over at District 16, who represents, his entire district is located in Yonkers. And so, as you mentioned, some of the areas that your district or District 17 kind of overlaps is District 2 and District 3, correct?
Yes.
And so Tasha Diaz and Corazon Pineda Isaac, who's running for mayor currently, and Tasha Diaz running for re-election. Tell me, what are some of the things you see there in these districts, and why you are, running for Westchester County Legislator?
Well, Freddie, there are multiple issues that I see, especially with the seniors. We have to worry about it's one of the most vulnerable people in our city,
Right.
the youth, the children, and that's basically what I'm going to fight for. I think it's enough the ignorance, and not the ignorance, but ignoring so many multiple factors that are affecting that part of our community. I believe
Well,
it's
I'm sorry, not because you mentioned the seniors, right? So what is it specifically about the seniors? And I've been, getting calls from a lot of seniors also. I've gone to senior centers, and, and it's kind of upsetting to me sometimes when I hear what's happening. So tell me about that, the seniors.
well,
you mentioned
older adults, they experience a unique physical and how can I say economic challenges that affect their quality of life. And some of the social factors are housing, the management of diseases, especially chronic disease. Remember, there's a lot of seniors with disabilities, medical issues, so many access to food. There's many multiple factors that affect them, and I want to be that person that is going to be there to help. That's basically what I'm running on, Freddie. I don't want to be the person that is running for any status or any personal gain. I want to help my community for real. I'm not a liar. I'm a person that if I tell you that I'm going to run for something that is going to help my people, I will. I will.
You're
And
passionate.
I'm
You
passionate.
really, you mean what you say what you mean, and your intentions are to actually make change, not to enrich yourself, basically is what you're saying, right?
Absolutely,
Is that
Freddie.
what I'm getting
I
at?
don't want to enrich myself, and I don't. That's not what I want.
Right.
I
And I
see
know
the
you're going to be
need.
meeting up with some seniors. You're going to be speaking to them, hearing what some of their concerns are, what they are looking for in terms of, in their county legislator. Because Jose Alvarado, he's been the legislator now for how long? 12 years? Or has it been that long?
I believe 12 years.
Is it? I really don't know. I'm just saying. And so, what has been done, right? I know a lot of people in his district have actually reached out to me. He's absentee, and not to badmouth him, but how would you be different?
I'll be different by filling those blanks. I'm not going to be absent. You see, remember, Freddie, that as a public official, you should be accountable to the people that elected you to begin with, the constituency. You should be available for them. It's a public office. It's not a private office. I didn't. If
Right.
I get to be elected as a county legislator, who elected me? The people. So
Right.
I'm accountable for them. I'm accountable to those people that need me. And why did they elect me to begin with? To fulfill those needs, Freddie. It's basic math. 2 + 2 is 4.
And how would you? But and how would you? Be different though. And how would you make yourself available, right, to the people? How would you? As a legislator, when people, because this is one of the biggest issues that a lot of constituents, or a lot of a biggest complaint that a lot of constituents have. They reach out to elected officials, and if they get a response, it's usually a generic response from one of their assistants or aides, and nothing really goes beyond that.
I'll be involved myself, Freddie. I'll be physically involved myself. I'll be available to the people. If I get a phone call, I'll be there for them. I'm going to be there for them, most definitely.
What is your stance on whatever on the ever increasing taxes in the county and Yonkers? Have you thought about this? Right, we hear Mike Spano announcing in a new budget that the taxes here in Yonkers specifically are going up, or have gone up 2.9%.
Well, that's an issue that we have to study. We got to bring it to the negotiating table. And I believe that's my dog. That's my dog.
She's saying, "Vote for Jose. Vote for Jose."
Vote for Jose. But definitely, that's a subject that we gotta deal with, especially with the taxes.
Well, tell me, what do you think? I mean, taxes going up. How do we keep taxes down, right? How do we keep taxes at least stagnant, where they're not going to go up the following year, right? And where we're going to generate some form of revenue to supplement or to, subsidize whatever needs instead of increasing the taxes on the people, right? How do we do that?
Business opportunities, small businesses, give people the chance, the opportunity to develop those small businesses. I believe that's one of the main areas in the business world. Freddie, you can't keep taxing the individuals. You can't keep taxing the homeowners. That's another area that is really, really upsetting. I know a lot of people, a lot of homeowners, they complain about the way they're taxed. It's almost every year. And that's why we live in the most expensive county in the nation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. And for people who may not realize that, yeah, Westchester County is one of the most expensive counties, one of the richest counties in the country. It's right up there with Orange County in California, where you have the housewives of the OC and stuff. So yeah, and it's continuing to become more expensive here in the city of Yonkers. So it's not just your taxes, right? We have your overall cost of living going up, right? Housing is an issue. The county, along with Yonkers, the city, is experiencing a housing crisis. And we see a lot of developments going up here in the city of Yonkers, but many are not affordable housing, although they are trying to sell it that way. Recently, I saw a article and where they were discussing with Wilson Kimball, Municipal Housing Authority CEO, and Mike Spano, that they are staying in line with their 10% housing ordinance, although we need more than that. What do you think about the housing?
Absolutely. We need more. See, the way the city is building and not assigning a bigger percentage of those apartments to the poor, to the people that need it. It's hard, Freddie. It's hard for individuals that we have right now. What is the average income in Yonkers? $35,000?
Well, that's according to Mike Spano, yeah.
$35,000. How can somebody pay $1,500 for a one-bedroom apartment in Yonkers? It's
It's actually more than that now. You go to the downtown, the waterfront, you're looking at $3,000 for a one-bedroom.
It is.
That's a mortgage.
It's a mortgage. It's sometimes it's bigger than a mortgage. Who can afford that?
Yeah,
not the people that city of Yonkers. Not the people that city of Yonkers. We can afford that, Freddie. I can afford it myself, and I worked for 23 years for the Yonkers Public Schools. So the opportunities are not there, and we need to change that.
So you let me ask you, as an employee of the Yonkers Public Schools, right? You just said something important. You said, I cannot afford a home, or it's expensive as an employee. Is that something that are you a homeowner? Are you looking to buy a home? Tell me, because I know a lot of staff members go out of Yonkers, right? Because they can't afford to live in Yonkers. Right. So is that something that a lot of staff members, or employees of the school district have to do in order to, buy a home or be able to afford, something for themselves nice? They have to leave Yonkers?
Absolutely, Freddie. A lot of people leave Yonkers. They work in the city of Yonkers, but they live somewhere else because they can afford to buy a house, practically, or to rent an apartment that will cost you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. It's something that is it needs to change. It has to change, and I believe though that policy is obsolete. It's obsolete. You can keep punishing the people, and somebody else has to benefit economically. That's not the way to go.
Let me ask you, education is important to me, right? Education is super big. And I'm not saying that, and I don't want to say that you have to get a college degree in order to be successful. Education doesn't mean a college degree, right? Education means educating yourself on something that's going to help you support your family, right? In the future, you're going to be able to be successful at it, whatever it is, right? Whether you go to college or you learn a trade, because I know plumbers, electricians, they make a lot of good money. And so, tell me about the education system here in Yonkers, since your district covers Yonkers primarily, particularly, districts that have largely been impoverished since I can remember.
Well, Freddie, I know a lot of principals. I know a lot of teachers. I believe they're very qualified. I believe they don't have the tools. The tools that they need are not there. They need more. from the administration. I believe they're very. Sometimes I tell them you overqualify. Some of these teachers they have 2 master's degree, a PhD, but they need more tools. They need more freedom so they can develop the student for the future. And also, Freddie, I believe that we need more vocational schools, technical schools, because not everyone wants to go to college.
Right.
And I believe that's one of those areas where Yonkers need at least maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 technical schools. And probably we can get the city going and give them the opportunities to develop themselves into good men and good women. Education is very important, but we need to give them the tools that they need, Freddie. You can afford sometimes. I mean, I can imagine college. How much is college now? Tuition. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's a whole nother, racket.
Then they get themselves. I know teachers that are still paying for loans that they took as students 10, 15 years later.
I'd say this: everybody just stop paying. Let's just say we all gonna agree a national, stop paying your student loans on this day, and everybody's gonna stop and just let it be, because they bailed out the banks, right? Why can't they bail us out? Now, when you say tools, what do you mean specifically? What tools do you think that are not being given to teachers to do their job?
Well,
effectively.
I'm not a teacher, Freddie, but I can tell you, but I can tell you that I hear some of the things that they need. I can elaborate on that because I'm not a teacher. I'm not a qualified person.
Well, what do you hear? What do the teachers say? Some of the
lessons. Listen, Freddie. Sometimes they need supplies, basic supplies. I remember when I started working 23 years ago, the teachers they had a budget in order for them to buy some supplies.
Right.
I see that those teachers today they pay themselves out of their pockets, and
right.
I believe that's not the way to go. And I love teachers. I love the administrators. I believe they're good people. They try, but we need to support them more.
Absolutely, and I say that a lot, right? Because I say things on the podcast, and I don't want it to be misconstrued. I don't want the school employees, the Yonkers Public School employees, to ever think that I have negative feelings toward them. I don't. My wife is an assistant principal. Absolutely not. I believe that there are a lot of great men and women, who work for our Yonkers Public Schools, and I also know that they are being limited, they're restricted because of the lack of, as you say, tools and other necessities, and support, overall support from the administration, who basically now controls the school district after that 2014, I believe the IMA, right, the agreement, and they took over all the important offices of the Yonkers Public Schools, pretty much leaving the superintendent to pretty much have full control of the curriculum, right, and how the education plans and all that, lesson plans and stuff like that. But in terms of budget, in terms of hiring, right, HR, in touch of overall administrative operations, the city took over that. So it's really the city, and I tell people this, it's and listen, I'm not trying to make Casada out to be the great. I'm just saying that we cannot fairly make an assessment on Casada based on the way the system is set up. So when those teachers are lacking and the school staff are lacking these things, it ultimately comes from the administration that's looking for a fourth term.
Freddie, I work with the Buildings and Grounds Department, and that's another area where maybe in the future I would tell you some of the things that are really not working in that department. And I heard a lot about individuals taking the civil service test within the city, but what about the Buildings and Grounds Department? That's another area where you have individuals that never took the test, that failed the test, the civil service test, but they're given supervising positions. And that has to change because we have civil service laws, but they don't respect that. That's one of the reasons, Freddie, I'm sorry, I've interrupted you.
No.
I ran for the CSEA presidency twice. I lost, but it doesn't matter. I learned throughout the years and have seen the abuses within that department.
So let's talk about that. You said you're a CSEA member, right? 9169. A lot of CSEA members actually have reached out to me and I have complained about the current, our president, Mr. Alberto Velasquez, and he and I got into a little exchange and stuff on Facebook, and I saw him the other day, and I was down by the post office. And he goes, "Hey, Freddie," and I rolled down my window. I go, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "Are you going to be mayor?" He goes to me, "Are you going to be the mayor? You're going to be the mayor? What? How's that going?" Right? Being sarcastic, right? Trying to be funny. And I said, being funny back, I said, I could be if you didn't, sell out and get all the people to vote for the mayor. I said, if you get them to vote for me, right? Because he's obviously getting, everyone to support the mayor. He's a part of this nepotism system. And what you're explaining right there, in terms of the civil service test is something that I've mentioned here in the city. I'm sorry, here in the podcast with other individuals. And that's the unfair, process, or the unfair, issues that many have complained about here in the city. Employees have complained about, and that's why. And I'm sure you've seen recently the articles and the Spano nepotism. Having the 14, which is members, but it's probably more, right? And how they've taken the civil service exams and all that. But what you're saying pretty much validates a lot of things that I've said here.
Well, Freddie, Alberto Velasquez is not the last. He's not. He doesn't have the last word in reference of the membership. He might have his small group of the members following him, but out of 1,500 individuals, I think he has a small percentage. I don't think he's going to be able to pull that out. People don't want him. People don't want him because he's not representing them. Right. We don't even have building reps in the schools. So he's an absentee person. He's not fighting. He's everywhere, walking around and enjoying himself. Actually, my opponent, Jose Alvarado, gave him a day in Westchester County.
Wow. Did he deserve that?
I have no idea. I don't know for what reason, but he was given January 28th as the Alberto Velasquez Day in Westchester County.
Nice.
But, I believe we have a lot of other people that really deserve a day, like you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But, I would much rather see than have a day these individuals actually go and do something for the people. If they gave me a choice, don't give me a day. Give the day to the people and do what the people have been asking for, right? That's what we need. And that's what I want, because I really don't want any accolades. I don't want a proclamation. I don't want anything other than to see the right thing done by the people. And this is Jose Alvarado standing next to Alberto Velasquez. And this is at the back of the backyard of Wilson Terrero, another Hispano. And so this is part of this cartel, as I call it, this cabal. And a lot of CSCA members have complained to me. CSCA is one of the largest, if not the largest, union here in the city of Yonkers. A lot of their members have seen me or reached out to me. People literally stopped me in the street. And they said, "Freddie, where's Alberto at?" Literally in the street. This is a true story.
You can see where Alberto is right now. Look at him. He's with Jose Alvarado, enjoying himself.
That's your opponent?
My opponent, instead of thinking about how he can help with the contract, how he can help with the people that are abused within the school system, because there's a lot of abuses of power. Freddie, I'm going to tell you this. I'm a victim myself. I ran for the union because I wanted to help the people in need, the members that needed that representation that they don't have.
Tell me about the contract, because that was one of the things that a lot of the CSCA members were reaching out to me about, the contract and how Alberto was not fighting for them.
Well, he was able to get us a 1% retro, Freddie, and that's all. I have no idea about the negotiations, so there's nothing I can tell you right now. All I know is that he's an absentee president. He's doing nothing for the members right now, but he's enjoying himself with Mr. Jose Alvarado.
And I've seen him a lot in Puerto Rico and stuff. He was doing a lot for the people there during the hurricane. He was bringing them a bunch of waters. But I wonder if he was really bringing it to them, or he just bought a bunch of cases of water. But that's all he had was water, right? And so have you guys gotten your retro checks?
We got a retro check, I believe, 2 years ago, 1%.
And there goes Alberto again with the, this is Mr. Yonkers foodie. And so How's that? How's that? Tell me a little bit about that. And I'm only curious because a lot of CSEA members have reached out to me, complaining about it. What's some of the issues there, that they have, and about the election process also.
Well, with the election within my department, I can tell you, Freddie, that throughout the years, it's not new. It's nothing new. You mentioned nepotism, retaliation. You got to be known. Freddie, they behave as a small gang. I was in 2014. I had to file a federal lawsuit for discrimination because a supervisor wanted to terminate me. So I was transferred to different schools in order for them to accuse me falsely. And that pushed me into helping other people. A lot of people keep signing. They don't open their mouth. They practically...
well, they're scared. They're scared.
They're scared.
And as you said, they try to terminate you. People are scared of that. They say they can't go to HR. They can't go to Carlos Moran. Where do they turn to?
Well, at that time, I went to Mr. Carlos Moran, and he helped me. I believe he helped me, and he was able to transfer me back. I got to transfer back to the school where I was taken from, but it was almost 2 years, 3 years in a process of a continuous abuse of power. I have Freddie. It is bad. This is the first time. A
lot of people just don't know.
It's the first time publicly that somebody says something about the Buildings and Grounds Department. And what do I expect? Am I going to expect retaliation? At this point, I don't care, Freddie. At this point, I really don't care.
Well, the brave of you.
Because,
a lot of respect. I was going to say that. I was just going to see, and I was thinking about this, and I almost wanted to change the topic just because I was afraid that, I don't know if I said, well, maybe Jose, they're going to start retaliating on this guy now,
Oh, they do
but
it, Freddie.
now you're
It's
saying
okay.
that, you don't care.
And
this is...
listen, I'm a family man. I have a family to support, and these individuals don't care. They don't care if you lose your job. They don't care how they're going to affect you or your family. They don't know how many members of my family are going to be affected.
Right.
From my immediate family or any other people that I help. But they made me go through hell. I mean, I'm telling you this. They made me go through hell, but I fought them back. I'm not going to say anything about Mr. Carlos Moran. He helped me.
Okay.
At that time, he did. I don't know now. But
well, look,
he did
if you
me.
say he helped you, I'm just saying this. Other people have told me, what they told me. But if he helped you, he helped you.
I couldn't go to my union. Actually, I went to my union at that time, and they didn't help me. They were in bed with the administration.
Who was the president at the time?
At that time, it was Lionel Turner.
Oh, Lionel Turner. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Oh, but now Alberto Velasquez is absentee. But see, people don't vote anymore in CSEA. They receive their ballot by mail. They don't even send it because they don't believe in anybody. They don't believe anybody's going to do anything for them, Freddie.
People have lost hope.
They lost hope. They lost hope. But one of the worst things that's happening is that I take a civil service test and I'm bypassed. It's a continuous bypass. The nepotism goes so far in there, and that should be an investigation. No individual should be supervising a school at night or in the day without passing the test. The civil service, you pay to take that test, Freddie. You pay for the civil service test.
Well, exactly, and that's why they had a meeting once at the city council saying how they were going to lower the test. I mean, the price of the test to $50 from $100 because they believed that the drop in people taking the test was the result of the price. And I said, no, it's not the result of the price. People would be willing to pay the $100 if they knew that they really had a chance of getting the job. But the problem is that so many people at this point know that it's all about who you know. They're not going to spend the $100 and to get no job, or even $50 to get no job, right? So that's the issue. And that's what I was saying. That has to be investigated. Now, would you be willing to, be a whistleblower? I mean, you're a whistleblower now. You're blowing the whistle live on this podcast. I mean, they're looking for whistleblowers.
It's open source, Freddie. It's open source. I mean, what happened?
Well,
to
not
me,
the nepotism, not the the fact what you're saying about skipping people who didn't take the test or failed the test but are still made supervisors. That's not open source. That's not open information.
Oh, that's open. My information is open source. But about those individuals, that get favors. I gotta tell you their names. Maybe 2 or 3 individuals that I know that have supervising positions that score lower in the test or never took the test. But they were given positions, which is something that is not correct, Freddie. It's not right. It's
I
not
agree.
right.
I
Not
agree.
right, because 23 years that I worked for the system, I have been detained because a supervisor took it upon himself to stop my growth within the schools. He stopped it.
I believe you.
And
Your
another thing,
story.
Freddie, I'm sorry, another
Yeah.
thing.
No, go ahead. No.
Alberto
Don't apologize.
Velasquez brother is an assistant supervisor within the school system too.
So Alberto Velasquez's brother is an assistant supervisor in which department?
Buildings and Grounds Department.
Buildings and Grounds Department. And so, yeah, so that, I guess if you have an issue with him as a supervisor and you go to your union, Alberto Velasquez, that's a conflict of interest.
Absolutely.
Right? That's a conflict of interest. And who's all part of the Buildings and Grounds Department anyway? Who works there?
Well, the head of the Buildings and Grounds is John Carr.
John Carr?
Yes. The supervisor of the custodians is Al DeLillo. And you have 2 assistant supervisors, which are Teofilo Velasquez, which is Alberto's brother, and Tommy Mueller.
Tommy Mueller?
Yes.
Related to Police Commissioner Mueller?
I believe so.
What are they, brothers or something?
I have no idea. I don't.
Wow, look at that,
yeah,
Thomas Mueller. I've never heard of that guy.
Yes.
Well, it's unfortunate, and that's why people, the folks watching, you running for county legislator, right? That's why you want to get in the game, so to speak, because you know that that's how you make the change. But we need the people to vote. We need the people to come out and vote. And this is what I'm saying, that at this point, we're pushing hard. They're starting to talk about it in the news, about this nepotism and corruption, and hopefully there'll be an investigation. But we cannot simply rely on that, right? We cannot just hang our hat on that. We may be disappointed. So we need to come out and vote as well. We have to be active. We have to be vocal. We have to come out in force. And that's why it's important that people hear your message, and forget about Republican or Democrat. If you're a Democrat, Jose Diaz is the guy. Jose Alvarado is not. Many of you Democrats who have voted for him have said so yourself. From business owners to residents, you all have complained about Jose Alvarado. I mean, this is the man, Jose, I don't know if you know, that was moved from City Hall, moved over to Parks because he was coming in drunk. This is what people said. This is what people have said, right?
Well, I want to tell the people, Freddie, I don't drink, I don't smoke.
It's good.
I try to live a clean life. But I believe that this is my message to the people, Freddie. If I win, if people vote for me, I want to represent those individuals regardless of being a Democrat or being a Republican or independent. I see the individual. I don't see the political party. I think it's enough of that. I think that causes division. And it's not about division. It's about putting somebody in a position where you don't forget about your constituency. You don't forget about the people that voted for you to begin with.
Absolutely.
And these public officials forget that. We have been victimized by these individuals that they think that the position was inherited. And that is not the issue. It's not an inheritance. You didn't go to the bodega and bought it.
Right.
People voted
Divine
for you.
destiny.
Exactly. Go represent the people that voted for you. Be honest. Have some honesty. Don't be an individual that is of the assumption that position belongs to you. It doesn't belong to you.
And that's exactly what my point was today, because earlier today I was driving through Getty Square. I was with my daughter, and I saw a city council car, city vehicle. So I pulled up next to it. The vehicle was making a left. I was going straight, and it's Shanae Williams. So I said, "Hey, Shanae, how you doing?" And she goes, "I'm not in the mood." That's the first thing she says to me, right? I don't even normally speak to her when I see her. This is the first time really I've ever actually gone up to speak to her when I've seen her. And she goes, "I'm not in the mood." I said, "Oh, you're not in the mood? Okay." I said, "Well, I just want to let you know that the constituent in your district, the homeowner, the property owner that's been having issue with an easement there, that she's been trying to get your office to work on resolving with her, you know what I'm saying? You know, I looked it up. I went to the building department. I got an update. I saw the survey, and she's right. That's an easement. Those cars have to be cleared. So can you? I don't want to talk right now. I'm not. I said, okay, fine, whatever. But you know, what about the person? Not about me. Forget me, right? There's a constituent that needs your help. That's been reaching out to your office, right? That's being, you know, inconvenienced, not only inconvenience, but also having to pay money to now hire a private company to get her garbage because the city truck can't go through the easement until they remove these abandoned cars. And so Shanae Williams can't do nothing about that. She's like, okay, we're going to do this. We got just giving her the runaround. And so instead of, you know, taking that information, said, you know what, Freddie, thank you. You know, if you don't like me, cool. Thank you. I will reach back out to her and, you know, and I'll look into that and actually reach out to her and see, okay, yeah, he was right. And I'm going to help this person. And it wasn't about me, but instead she just was giving an attitude. I'm not in the mood. I don't want to talk. And then she just keeps looking at the light. And as soon as it turned green, she takes off, right. And turns. And I'm like, what do you mean you're not in the mood? You're working because you're in the city vehicle, the vehicle that the taxpayers pay for and using the gas that the taxpayers pay for. So you must be on official business, right? So you're working. And that's why I came to speak to you. Had I seen you in the street walking your little hot dog like she does, I wouldn't have said that to you like I've done before. So, you know, that's what we need. We need people that care.
So, Freddie, I believe, see, you mentioned now Shanae Williams. When I was
not to get into her anyway.
Well, you know, when we were having problems within the family court system, I called her.
Yes.
She was my...
Well, let's talk about that, right? I want to get to that really quick and not get too much into details. A lot of people here in the city of Yonkers and across the country have had problems dealing with the family courts, CPS, you know, what do you call it? The judges, the law guardians, right? You are an individual who's had a, you know, horrible experience. And when you told me your story, I just couldn't believe it. My mouth just dropped. I was left speechless because I've also had a bad experience, but it wasn't to the extent that you went through it. And mine was so silly that it was easily dismissed. But no, it's not been so easily dismissed. Tell me about that. And that's why you've also here.
That's one of the reasons why I'm running. Not the main reason, because the main reason is to help my community, Freddie. Right. That's the main reason. But at the same time, I believe Mr. Alvarado represents a committee where he's in charge of the elderly, the youth, and what about the children? I put them both almost at the same level, the elderly and the children. But my experience with family court was an experience that was so terrible, where you have a judge colluding with lawyers, law guardians, in order for them to remove a child. To remove a 5-year-old child that is gone. That child is gone. I haven't seen my granddaughter in 3 years because a judge decided that I wasn't supposed to have access to her. I'm not a criminal. You can check my record, Freddie. I'm not a criminal. My wife is not a criminal. My daughter is not a criminal. But this is one of the first things they do. They criminalize you and they take what they want from you. In my case, I know there's individuals in high places in Yonkers that were involved. I'm not going to mention them, but I know who they are, and I want them to know that I know what you did. I know what you did to my family. And Freddie, I'm telling you, the people of Yonkers are being abused within the family court system. And we're actually Westchester County, and it has to change. People that have been abused should come out. You know that we protested. We protested that judge that abused my family. And it's not over. It's never going to be over. We're going to be fighting. Thank God. I have great faith in God. And one day I want an investigation, whether it's through the Justice Department, through the FBI, these individuals that were involved in removing my granddaughter should be questioned. It's a crime to lie to the FBI. They should be sit down and question these individuals that go, Freddie, and make a profit. It's for profit. Family court is a business, and it's for profit. They remove the children, and once they remove the children, the money machines start kicking in. $40,000 every time they remove a child. And if that child has some mental issues, that's $80,000. And it's a $100 billion industry. It is an industry. It's not going to end, Freddie. They make more money in family court than in criminal court.
Well, that's definitely, that could be an entire podcast in of
Yes,
itself, right?
yes.
Talking about, the financial gain, from these foster care agencies and these group homes that get these kids in and get money from the states. And, I also learned that these foster care agencies uh, make money off the kids even when they don't have the kid in their care, right? So when they place them into a home, they give the person $60 a day, right? Well, in New York, I was reading this one kid, they get $200 a day for the child from the state. They give the child to $60. They keep $140 a day, right? And they're not doing anything. Now the person that they placed them with, or the people they placed them with, have to now take care of the child with the $60 a day that they give them, right? And they get to keep that money. So it's a lucrative business. So if you pull out a lot of kids, go ahead.
Social Security finances foster care.
Really?
Oh yes, Social Security is called payments of state. That money goes, I guess, to the governor's office, and that money is distributed. Freddie, once the situation is this: every time they remove these children, money goes toward the retirement of some of these judges. Imagine that, Freddie. There's so much information but like you said, that's for another podcast. And I can bring to you, I can bring and show the people how the money is made. It is fraud. It is fraud.
The people definitely need to know. And, it's mind blowing for people who are willing to, hear what you would have to say and
It's a total
read.
Scam, Fred. It's a scam. It's a scam.
Yeah.
They're scamming the people and they're abusing the children. These children are abused. Listen,
it re-traumatizes them,
It's trauma, Freddie. They're going to be abused for life.
Right.
And you have good parents, you have good fathers, good mothers, and you have bad fathers and bad mothers. But mostly, is what they do is they take the child from the most protected parent because they know that parent is going to go and fight. And some of these wasn't in family court issues are fought for 10 years, 15 years. It's totally insane, Fred. You know how much money you got to pay? And if you get a court-appointed lawyer, the court-appointed lawyer is friends with the judge.
Right.
Oh, I know the judge for 30 years. And they tell you, one of the lawyers told my daughter one day, oh, why don't you relinquish your rights to your daughter? Imagine, her own lawyer. That's another issue, Freddie, that I believe, whether it's the Westchester County or the New York State Bar Association, they should look into this. It's beyond, Freddie. We need another podcast for that because
no, definitely. I mean, there is. It's so crazy, and without, I don't want to get into the details of your situation, but we've spoken, you've come to my office, on several occasions, and we talked about it, you and your lovely wife, and say hello to your wife for me, and what you've told me and what you've shown me, it's unbelievable that this happened to you. Basically your child was kidnapped. I mean, people might be like, what is he talking about? But, and if you folks were to know the details, you would agree because, I mean, it's just unbelievable some of the decisions they made based on the information they had. Right?
The best thing, Freddie, is that we have proof.
Right.
And I have contact. I contact every agency, every department that I had to, but they all closed their doors because all these agencies and all these departments.
Did we lose you? I hope we didn't lose Jose Diaz. Jose, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can't get back on, just try to reconnect with the link. Yeah, so Jose Diaz is running for District 17 at the county level. He's running against Jose Alvarado. Jose Alvarado, this is one of the things that a lot of people have said about him. He's an absentee county legislator. He's not around, and he hasn't even been around. Where's Jose been? Even with other people now, being at different events and showing up in order to, promote themselves, promote the fact that they're running for re-election. Even Jose is really still not anywhere to really be found. But he does sing a great karaoke. If you ever happen to have an opportunity to see him at Dos Maria, doing karaoke, that'd be great. I posted a picture here. That's Alberto Velasquez. We were just talking about Alberto Velasquez. This is an event at Wilson Torrero's home. Oh, there you go. Tom Meyer Sr. there. The mayor there. and all the Hispanos for Spano. And Jose Alvarado was here as well. He was with Alberto Velasquez. And what has he done? I've had even business owners complain. Hispanic business owners complain, say he's absentee, doesn't do anything. He's not anywhere around. So why would you want to reelect this man, folks? You got another individual here that I think is very passionate. He's a people's. You're the people. You like the people, man. You're just a regular folk like us. You're not a part of the in crowd. You're not going to sell the people out. You're not looking to enrich yourself. You're actually looking to roll up your sleeves, get into your district once you win, and get to work. Is that true? Is that correct? Do I pretty much have it right?
That's correct, Freddie. All I want to do is help my constituency, help the people. I don't see them as constituency. I see them as individuals. And every individual's need is different.
Right.
Everybody has different needs, Freddie. And I want to connect with those people.
And so a lot of people, I'm sorry, a lot of people have that issue have had issues with Diaz. Because when I spoke about what I've had, a lot of people reached out to me. Have a lot of people reached out to you? Have you been in contact with other family who have gone through similar situations like you? And if you have, how have you? Guys done anything?
Yes, Freddie. A lot of people have connected with us, but like you said, it's the fear. It's the fear of the retaliation of the system. These people are in power. They got the power. It's a facade because actually, if you see the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, it tells you that every public official should be available to the people 24/7. Freddie, it's a lie. The power
about 24/7. They might disagree.
Well, actually, well, they are accountable to the people, Freddie.
Right.
And,
no, absolutely.
And it's not a private office. It's not a public. It's a public office. And if I reach out to any public official, let's say in Yonkers, whose district is family co-located in Yonkers on Robertson Avenue, that's
on the council level. Yeah,
at the council level, Shanae Williams, and at the county level, it's Christopher Johnson.
And Christopher Johnson was also the chair, I believe, or a part of the committee. Maybe I think the chair of the Social Services Committee, which Family Court is a part of. Department of Social Services. Really quick, William, we currently have a county legislator or legislators who are very quiet on Yonkers issues that we are going through. Will you be outspoken on city issues? Well, you already answered that question, right? You're definitely going to be outspoken. He's been outspoken. Good luck, Jose. From South Fata.
I know South Fata.
Oh, you know South
Fata was part.
Fata?
South Fata, he retired. He's a good man. It's a good man. He was part of the union. And he worked hard for the union. He worked hard for the individuals.
So if you're part of the CSEA union 9169 here in the city of Yonkers, look for Jose. Look Jose up. Find out who he is, what he's doing, and he's the guy that's truly. If you are tired of the leadership at the union and even with our elected officials, I mean, with you, it's a double win, right? They get a county legislator that's really going to be active for the people, but also understands their plight as members of CSEA 9169. And so Freddie, they need that help. They're the ones that get paid the least in the school district, I hear. So when you hold up their money, it's messed up. You know what I'm saying? So you got some of these people making $200,000, but that's not the case for CSEA members.
Freddie, we work hard.
No, definitely work hard.
We work hard, especially with the custodial department. We are the backbone of the system. Without the custodial staff, nothing could be done. The schools would be, destroyed. We are the ones that keep it clean. We're the ones that keep the system running. In conjunction with the teachers and administrators, but in the physical structure, we are the ones. And
in terms of the operation.
Yes, in charge of the operations. I'm going to tell you this. The tentacles of the city go through buildings and grounds too. And I'm not going to elaborate on that. But there's a lot of people involved, okay? A lot of links, a lot of families, a lot of names.
You're talking about like with contracts maybe that the buildings and grounds department has to give out for certain jobs, some work that needs to be done on school properties and stuff like that?
Well, I don't know anything deeper than at that level, but all I know is that like I told you before, through the civil service exam.
Okay.
In that area, I don't deal with that area, but I can tell you about the civil service exam, which is bypass. It shouldn't be like that. You have to be able to get along with the supervisors and practically be almost a subservient in order for you to get. That's one of the qualities. Not only the test, you got to be a subservient and allow these individuals to practically disrespect you in order for you to get a school or as a supervisor, because this is the structure. You have building custodian 3, building custodian 2, and building custodian 1. So they have 3 different levels. At night, usually it's the a building custodian 2. And I know individuals that have been given that position when they didn't even pass the civil service exam. So it is a farce that, oh, my family, took the test. I don't believe a lot of people.
So you're saying that, so the mayor has, responded to the claims of nepotism by saying that he has a large family and that they've taken the test to get the jobs.
Well,
and you're saying,
what I'm saying is this: in my department, the opposite is what happens in there. The individuals are giving schools. Why? Who's in charge of civil service within the city of Yonkers? Who's in charge of civil service? You got to look into that. They got to look into that, Freddie, because what they did to me is discrimination. Discrimination, Freddie.
The civil service committee or something like that, the people that are in charge of overseeing these civil service exams and stuff like that. Yes, I've heard about this board or this committee, and they are entrenched with Spano loyalists for sure. And so you, as county legislator, winning and beating Jose Alvarado, you know what's going on. That would be amazing to have an elected official that knows what's going on and is willing to speak out against it. Folks, wouldn't you love to vote him in for that very reason alone?
I'll be a fighter, Freddie. I'll be a fighter for the people because I've been victimized myself. I am part of that group of individuals that have been victimized. And I know, and I can identify myself with them.
Right. You relate
what better candidate? And I'll be working for them at the county level, trying to create legislation where we can protect our workers. I'm a union person. I don't think Jose Alvarado is a union guy. So I believe the unions. The unions protect the employees, and we need them. They fight for us when you have a good president, not like Alberto Velasquez.
Right. People are compromised. Jose Alvarado is compromised. Some people say that he's scared of the Spanos, like they have something on him. I don't know what it is. But the man has run unchallenged, many times, right? Nobody's really challenged. I think London Reyes may have challenged him, but he has the support of the Spano machine, a Spano machine that's now being, investigated, or not investigated, haven't launched anything official, but is in the crosshairs, right? And it's now their spot is being blown, for lack of a better word. So, how effective will that machine be in these elections? And hopefully we'll get federal oversight into these elections so that they, can be fair, because Zahi Jeris is going to be very involved. This is a man who's committed election fraud. He pleaded guilty in 1998 for it. Yet and still, he's showing up to the Board of Election to challenge people's petition signatures. And they're allowing him to just go up there because it's all politics. And so we need individuals like you, folks. We need individuals like Jose Diaz.
Freddie,
absolutely.
The only machine that I need is the people. Once I have the people's vote, nobody can take that away from me. And I'm going to make sure that I represent them to the highest level of respect, because that's what it is. We got to give our people the respect that they deserve. And that's why I want to run, and hopefully they vote for me. Like I told you before, I don't care about any party affiliation. I look at the individual. I look at the person. Right. And that's why I want to go up there and help my community. And if I can help the county, I will.
No, you have to help the county.
I know. Exactly. I know how it feels, Freddie, but I'm going to focus on my community first.
Right. Your district.
For me.
My district. Absolutely. People that vote for you.
That's the people that I'm going to focus on, because those are the people that I need to work for That's my priority.
So you're not going to put the party ahead, political, friends or colleagues ahead of the people like it's been done so many times. Someone writes here, I hope he wins the election against drunk Alvarado. And again, you see, this is not me, folks. What I say on my podcast, I get it from the people, Jose. It's like they think that I'm at home just saying, okay, I think I'm going to say this about this guy today or this person. No, I get the information. And there you go, right? That just
you're the voice of the people right now, Freddie. We needed you, and we need other people to continue working,
absolutely,
and defending the people that work and the people that work so hard, and the elderly, the youth, the seniors. Listen, the seniors, they need us. We forget about the seniors. We forget about these individuals that are vulnerable, and to take advantage of vulnerable people is a crime, Freddie. What about the children? Right now we have a system, like I spoke before, a system that is removing children in order for them to make a profit. We got to change that. At the county level, I want to work for that. I want to work to stop this abuse because it's so abusive. It's a system that never stops abusing us. And we got to go there and continue fighting.
That's
and
right.
We got to hold them accountable, Freddie. We got to
That's right.
hold the public officials accountable for their position.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm here for. And if I win, hold me accountable. If
Absolutely.
I do something wrong, hold me accountable.
There you
That's
go.
my message. That's my message, Freddie.
There you have it, folks. Jose Diaz. I mean, this is why I like you, Jose, because you're very passionate. You care. And it's time that we start voting for people who care about the community. This one should be an easy one, folks. This one, Jose, should be an easy one for the people of District 17. I mean, at this point, I think they've seen enough of what Jose is not doing and what he is doing that he shouldn't be doing to say it's time for change. You're a Latino. How are you factoring that into your election, if at all?
Of course, Freddie. I'm going to represent the Latino, Caucasian, Blacks, Indian. I told you, I see people. I'm a believer. I believe in God. I'm a Christian person. I believe in God.
Amen.
And I'm not a saint. By saying this, I'm not trying to tell you that I'm a saint. I'm a sinner. I make mistakes like everyone, but I do believe in God. I'm a believer in God, and that I have my faith, and that I won't compromise it with anything. No money, no treasure can compromise what I believe, and that's my upbringing. So the people should know that if they vote for me, they're going to have somebody that's going to represent them to the fullest. And God willing, He'll keep me healthy and with a sharp mind. And I'm going to go fight, Freddie. That's what I want to do. I want to go fight for them. I don't know. I can promise. I mean, that I'm going to win everything for them, but I'm going to give them a fight.
You promise that you will fight hard.
And
you will give them 110% effort.
110%, Freddie.
And that's what the people need and are looking for. That's what they want. We're not looking for someone who's perfect and can get it all done all the time. But we want to know at least that you are fighting for us and that you truly represent us. And that when you go in there, you know that you are really there to assure that we, the people that voted for you, are going to win whatever it is that we're seeking, whether it's housing, right? Or whether it's our schools to better, whether it's taxes to remain stagnant or the, water bill from rising, whatever the issue is.
Freddie, another point is that my opponent kept running uncontested. How can somebody keep running uncontested? It's about time that finishes. We need to give the people another view, another chance, another person. I am that person. And God willing, I will represent them to the fullest, Freddie. That running uncontested should stop.
Absolutely.
Who's capable?
But
am I a career politician, Freddie? I'm not a career politician, but I know about politics. I know about politics, and I know it is the art of compromise. But you compromise in what way? You compromise in bringing the good stuff to the people. And that's all, Freddie.
You compromise to make things happen. You don't compromise yourself.
Exactly. To make things happen for the people.
That's the difference.
The benefits that they can get.
Absolutely. And I respect that. And again, that's why I like Jose, Diaz. And again, that's why I said this one should be an easy one. This one should be an easy one, folks, right? We don't want career politicians. It's not like Jose is really, the brightest elected official out there, and he's doing such an amazing job as a county legislator and coming up with some incredible legislation, and he's there for the people. He's not. He's absolutely not, right? So we need change, and this one should be an easy one. And you got a guy here like Jose Diaz that's saying, I'm going to go out there and fight. I'm for the people. That's what I care about. You know what I love that you said? And I don't want to make this about, God, but God, you brought that in there. Your spirituality, your faith. Me too. That's what leads me not to be compromised, right? I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. We are bad people. That's what it says in the Bible, right? We're going to be bad. But I am not compromising myself because I have a faith in God. And to me, that's more important than money, than material things. And I don't think they get that about me yet because they try to attack me in those ways as if I care. And that's what I appreciate about you, because I know that a man of faith like you, that's so passionate, I've spoken with you, will definitely say what you mean and mean what you say and be representing the people. And I think the people are starting to feel you, Jose. Vote for Jose Diaz 2023. You just got to be genuine. You just got to be yourself, and people will always respect that, right? And when you're wrong, you're wrong. You say it. I was wrong, right?
Yeah,
I made a mistake. Right. As long as you're not, stealing taxpayer money,
that's
or
not a mistake.
doing anything crazy like that, right? But you make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and people appreciate when you admit that and you have accountability for yourself instead of saying you're not in the mood and then speeding off when the light turns green.
Accountability is what we should have for every public official. We got to hold them accountable to their position and let them know. But how can we do that, Freddie? As a whole, the entirety of the people got to be together and demand that accountability. We need that movement, Freddie, that movement that you're planning on making. We need that movement. Yes.
Don't say too much. They watch closely.
It's okay. It's okay. They know who you are already. So we need that.
Well, definitely I'm encouraging people to really be vocal and to go out and, express, their discontent with the entire system, with the current administration. The fact that they want another 4 more years, it's not going to happen, because we need to come out there. We're going to come out there and we're going to show the world, if we have to, that the people of Yonkers are not going to stand for corruption anymore. And we need more elected officials like you who are willing to speak out against that corruption, right? Mimi Roca staying silent, the Inspector General, forget it. That's a waste, right? And other people are not saying anything, but you are speaking out. You as a, kind of an insider, because you work for the city, have said a lot today, and validated a lot of stuff that I and other people have said. And we need someone like you in office. Thank you, Jose. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, Freddie. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, folks. That is Jose Diaz, Republican candidate for Westchester County Legislative District 17. And I say Republican, but if you're a Democrat and you're listening, forget about that. Forget about that. Look at the man, listen to the man, learn about the man, Jose Diaz. He's the guy that you folks should be voting for. Absolutely. It's time for change. Jose Alvarado's been there for how long now? Come on. This one should be an easy one. This man is a great man, a family man, and is willing to fight for the people. You got my support. I'm not in your district, but you got my support. I will continue to support you. You got Basement Politics endorsement, right?
Thank you.
We'll endorse you.
Endorsement. And another point, Freddie, divide and conquer. That's what the system wants. Divide and conquer. You're a Republican, you're a Democrat. No, you're a human being like me. We're all humans, and we need each other. Now, the evil ones, they got to go. We have to eliminate evil.
Amen, brother. I'm voting for Jose Diaz for sure. There you go. Jose, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Freddie.
Oh, real quick. Where can people go and read up on you? Do you have social media? Do you have a website?
Right now, I'm on Facebook. They can look for my name, Jose Diaz, Jose for Yonkers. I'm still working on my social media. Remember, like I told you before, I'm new to this, so I'm still putting all the whole structure together. I'm doing this by myself. with
Right.
my wife.
Your wife.
My support. Okay, my pillar. That's my wife. And that
Absolutely.
right now I'm self-financing. Thank God. I'm doing okay.
I get it.
And
This is
God
what I
willing,
get it. Listen, this is how we need to start doing it, right? These individuals got all this money, they get all these developer money, all these outside sources of income to fund their campaigns, and then they use that to get into office to do things for people that are not from our community and don't care about it. So we need more independent people. Fund yourself. This is why I wanted you to come on and and show the people who you are, and hopefully people share this, and more people who didn't know you will know you and vote for you. Like you said, it's not about party. So I appreciate that, man. And I believe you said you're getting your website up soon. Will it be joseforyonkers.com or something to that effect? But when you get it, definitely let me know so I can promote it.
I will, Freddie. Thank you. And
you're very welcome. Say hello to the wife. Thank you. God bless you too. And send my love to the family, and say hello to your wife and your daughter as well. And I appreciate you taking the time to be here on Basement Politics. Thank you. Folks, that was Jose Diaz, District 17. He's running against Jose Alvarado. Take care. He is the guy for you. He is the people's chance, the people's choice. Folks, far too long, Jose Alvarado has locked that seat down for the administration in order to control things for them at the county level. I mean, they need him, so they are willing to allow him to continue to work here in the city of Yonkers, even though he has come to work drunk, even though he spent most of his work days over at the Park Hill Country Club at the bar, according to insiders. Yet and still, Jose Diaz still has a job. And then he has a county legislative position. Many criticize him for double dipping. I call it double shotting. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Vote for Jose Diaz, Westchester County Legislator, District 17. Peace out. Shout out to my friend. Some say Khaled, some say Waleed.
Freddie wins.
The Spanos, or people from the Spano camp, sending Freddie Vasquez information in order for me to further divide the Arabic community, a community that is known to have its disputes, but come back together better than ever. The writings on the wall are individuals making moves because they see change gonna come. The Arabic community is a very strong and powerful community here in the city of Yonkers. Financially strong, intellectually strong. They have a large population size, many very successful. Why have they taken over already? Why have we not seen a member from the Arabic community mayor yet? Have the Spanos and Zahi Jerris been messing it up for you guys? Well, I think that may change soon. I don't know. Call me crazy. I just say things, right?
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
In another one, Mr. Rumo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
I was raised in housing.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want some of the butter chicken.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
But I am the bad guy.
I'm hoping that this is not true, Sandy. I know you have a lot of women. I'm hoping that this is not true, Sandy. I know you have a lot of women. I'm hoping that this is not true, Sandy.
But I am the bad guy. Benefit him. Because he doesn't cover. He only talks trash. Benefit him. Because he doesn't cover. He only talks trash. We are the real McCoy. Benefit him. Because he doesn't cover. He only talks trash. So that my competition, the guy who always talks about me and say, awful things about me, he will not have a problem, guys.
Freddie.
No!
Fatality.
No!
Good evening, Carolyn. 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 This is Stephen Tavert. Sorry that I'm calling you so late, but I just got your number a little bit ago. I actually intended to call you prior to this yesterday, in fact. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I apologize for calling you late, calling you later than I...
If it were on hot dogs, yes.
I know you have a lot of women that work in your office.
Hey, listen, I know you, Lieutenant. I know who the fuck you think you are. Hey, listen, I know you, Lieutenant. I know who the fuck you think you are. If you want to play this game, you're going to lose it.